Hey tribe, welcome back. Spiritual Modalities for a Spiritual Life. We're continuing our work in this workshop series. I'm so glad that you're back and you're watching this video. So, what to expect? We're coming together again for our maze get together, and this is where we're going to we've done our homework, right? You reached out to someone you're really close to and you got their Enneagram number, and you reached out to somebody that maybe you're a little challenged with, or you're looking to deeper and understand that relationship better. You have those numbers, which means you have their stress number, their secure number, because you use that worksheet, right? So if none of this makes sense to you, go back a video and get caught up that way, because we're going to dive into that work today in this workshop, this class. Are you ready? Stay watching. It's up next. Hey, welcome back, tribe. Thank you for staying clicked in. We're diving deeper and deeper into the Enneagram system. And so this is May. This is the whole focus of this month. So let me just recap. You should absolutely have watched, and if you haven't, pause the video and go back and do so. You need to watch the last 3 videos, which were the doing, the feeling, and the thinking triads, because it broke out all your numbers. And so you have a better description of each of the numbers for the Enneagrams. And let me put up our beautiful chart where we all fell on this slide, right? The ones, we seem to have a lot of 2s and 3s in the room, so I'll got some good leaders to take over in group. This will be great. And I wanted you to see where everybody falls, because guess what? You already have commonality with these people. So we're going to keep diving into that work today, and we're going to break out a little bit more in group today to talk and answer some questions now that we have our numbers. So don't forget, you need now to come with the 3 numbers: your own number from the worksheet, the person who is closest to you, the same numbers and the same worksheet, and remember, the challenge person. So now you're going to need those 3 sets of numbers, because we're going to work it out. And let me put up a beautiful little slide. We'll call this the chart. This is going to be the chart that you are going to focus on for the next 30 days. And here's why. Come back to me now. We are going to be cross-pollinating and trying to expand and develop and become more conscious about how we can truly magnify or intensify or beautify those beautiful relationships around us. And I challenge you for 2 people on either side of you, but trust me, the more people you do this process with, maybe your whole family would benefit, maybe your whole team at work. Do this work with as many people as you can, so you can really uncover and be the best expression of yourself. Hopefully you'll agree on that, okay? So get ready. We're going to answer some questions this month in group. So before we do, let me clarify one more time on the wings. There was a couple different tests out there, and I believe that on one of the tests, it really said that the wings were like the next profile that you most likely were like. And that is true for that particular process, okay? But we're not doing that. We are truly doing the wings. The definition of wings for this class and what we're processing is the wings are the numbers on either side. I've clarified that a couple times, but just make sure, I apologize for some confusion around that. If you were an 8, your wing could only be a 7 or a 9. It can't be a wing 2, 3, 4, okay? It's the number on either side. Okay, so just so I have that clarification documented, let's get into this month's questions and be ready to come to class with these answers. We're going to be doing it in group form, but for those people following online, here we go, diving in. So the first question I have for you is, I hope there was at least 3 things that you learned about yourself while doing this work. And if you haven't learned anything, my gosh, I'm failing you as a teacher. There has to be at least three things, aha moments you had about your own self-discovery in doing this work. So be ready to share at least 3. Okay, let's move on. The next thing I want you to be able to talk about is you're identifying when you're in power and out of power. where we talked about being the shadow or being in light, in power, out of power. And we said there was tons of words for that, right? And we know that from our work that we did with the chakras too, right? There's a demon in every Enneagram, by the way. We'll get into that at another time. So as we're looking at this work, we know when we're kind of honoring our number, and we know when we're out of power. And I found it fascinating in that beautiful book that I'll put another picture up of. It really goes into detail. It even talks about when you're healthy in that number, when you're average, and when you're unhealthy. And it breaks it out into different levels too. You know, a 1 could be a level 1, and then there's a level 9. 9 not being being out of power. So it's interesting how within every number you can dive deep. And remember, this class, I'm just getting you to touch it, okay? So the question is, what happens when you're totally in power? What's showing up? What feels right in your life when you're completely in power with your Enneagram number? So be ready to answer that. And you can imagine where I'm going with the next part, right? What happens when you're out of power? Please be ready to share that. And I want you to share that in class, because we're going to, guess what, hold you accountable to that. So I'll give you an example in case you're confused. You know, I'm all about the doing. I'm all about my schedule. I'm all about organization. Okay, so you can imagine when I'm in power, that's all happening. When I'm out of power, someone's showing up unexpected. Michael's telling me that we're heading to the families and I don't have the salad that he's just told him I'm going to bring, okay? That puts me out of power. So you can imagine our homework most likely will be on those times that we're out of power. So we want to have a discussion about it in group. And if you're watching this on YouTube, okay, good discussion right here on Facebook. We can help you and assist you through it, those who are following virtually. Okay, so let's keep going. So remember, in your homework, you were supposed to ask somebody who was really close to you. So the next part I want you to be able to talk about is, well, did you learn anything new about them? I hope you did. And I gave an example in class, and I'll give it again. I knew Michael was a peacemaker, a number 9 Enneagram, but I did not know Michael needed time alone. So in my own life and my relationship with him, I'm making arrangements to change that so that my man who needs time to be alone will get that. So that's the kind of question I'm looking for from you. What did you learn about the person who's really close to you through doing this process? Answer that. We're almost done. And then the next question I want you to be able to answer is, what did you uncover about the person that you're having conflict with? Was there any aha moments about them? So write that up. Some awareness that you didn't know. Maybe a new way of looking at that. I hope you have something, because the last part of this that I want you to do and be ready to talk about in class is to write a resolve. So if there is a 2 in your life who is, always showing up, because 2s love to, they love to be needed, and they're always projecting their solution for you, and you're totally in conflict because you're an 8 and you think you have the own answer. What is a resolve between the 2 of you that you could see? Is it creating a boundary for the 2? Is it listening and saying, I'll take that under consideration as I make my own decision? So that's what I kind of want you thinking about. What is a great resolve? Okay? Yeah, that's beautiful. So we're going to fill out this beautiful chart. This chart will be there for you. You'll be answering these questions. And if you're following this online and in Facebook, guess what? Worksheet will be attached, and you need to answer these questions. This is Jeannie. This has been a beautiful ride through the Enneagram System. We have one more month of really diving in and looking at that. More videos to come, more bonus videos to come. I'm really enjoying this journey. Next month, we have JENNELL HELM. She'll be taking over, doing a whole bunch of things on health coaching. Can't wait to find out what that is and what her intention is for our class. This is Jeannie. Thanks again for being part of our series. Have a fabulous day. We'll see you next class.